The in-season tournament is finally over, and this was some of the most competitive stretch of regular season basketball we've probably seen in a while, especially the last few games. Honestly, I still don't know how I feel about the name in-season tournament. I think that calling it the NBA Cup sounds better to me, but putting that aside, I want to go over the last few games played. In the West, we had the Lakers against the Pelicans, and in the East, we had the Bucks against the Pacers. The Lakers-Pelicans game was pretty disappointing all around because I think a lot of us had been looking forward to the Zion-LeBron matchup, and it ended up just being the LeBron show, where he hit 4 straight threes, completely dominating the Pelicans, while Zion went on to score just 13 points. It looks like Zion was the 38-year-old and LeBron was 23 because all LeBron had to do was give him some space by sitting back, and that was enough to contain him. The Pelicans lost by 44 and really didn't put up much of a fight, and a lot of the main discourse has been around Zion and his physical conditioning because we were told that Zion was finally taking his conditioning seriously in the offseason, which, for being in the league for multiple years, is kind of concerning, but we've seen that he can be a top player when healthy. This season, he's averaging 22, 5, and 5 on 57% shooting, which, even with the increased scoring in the league, is still good. I think that a lot of the discourse is mainly because of the expectations so many fans have for him, whether it was an all-NBA player or even the face of the league at one point, so seeing him looking out of shape has a lot of people talking. Into the Bucks-Pacers game, as we've seen this season from Tyrese Haliburton, another amazing performance offensively, 27, 7, and 15 on 58% shooting, with Miles Turner right behind him with 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. On the other side for the Bucks, Giannis played very well as usual with 37 points and 10 boards, with a good Middleton performance next to him as he had 27 and 4 as he was playing over his minutes restriction that he's had for the majority of the season. Dame had 24, 7, and 7 but shot 35% from the field, but despite that, he's been one of the most clutch players this year, so I was kind of surprised to see that he wasn't getting the ball much near the end of the game. The Pacers won and advanced to the finals to face the Lakers, and what's a better way for a rising star like Tyrese Haliburton to get exposure from casual watchers who may not be in tune with the Pacers than a game against the highly marketed Lakers. This was the best game of the tournament in my opinion because of the fact that we were able to see the Lakers in full force, or at least somewhat. I think AD has been dealing with some injuries, but it didn't seem to affect him this game because he put up 41 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks. I really like seeing the aggressive AD playing basketball because he can really be so dominant if he chooses to be. Instead of having so many possessions where he posts up too long, which causes a double, there was a play where he got double teamed when he posted up, passed it out, and got it right back, and then he faced up and spun around Miles Turner for a nice little push shot. I think he operates best when in space because he can dribble past other bigs and he has the finesse around the rim to finish well. He was even hitting some mid-range shots, which hasn't been a strong suit this year. He's shooting just 17% on mid-range jumpers, and that used to be his bread and butter. Not something elite, but something you had to watch out for because he was very effective when shooting there. Tyrese Haliburton had a good game, but was more loose with the ball than usual, with 3 turnovers, which, saying it out loud, is kind of crazy since he's averaging 12 assists and only 2 turnovers. He had 20 points and 11 assists on 57% shooting, but this definitely didn't come easy, and the Lakers defense made sure of that because he had only taken about 8 shots by the time they reached the 4th quarter. What I will say is that this healthy Lakers team will likely be one of the best defensive teams by the end of the season, if not the best, because not only is Darvin Ham a defensive-oriented coach, but he also has the personnel to work with, and even with the injuries, they hovered as an average defense. Now, within the past 10 games, they've had the 2nd best defense. In the last 5, they've been number 1. During this game, Tyrese Haliburton was getting trapped almost every single play. The moment he called for a screen, they were immediately on him, and when they have these lengthy and athletic defenders who can keep up with him, it makes it really difficult when he goes from switching from Jared Vanderbilt to Cam Reddish to LeBron, who at times is lackadaisical on defense, but when it matters, he can lock down. Combined with AD completely anchoring the defense and not allowing any easy inside baskets, Tyrese wasn't able to get many easy shots at all. And even though he was able to quickly react and pass over these doubles to teammates, they weren't shooting well at all. Miles Turner, Bruce Brown, Buddy Hield, and TJ McConnell all shot 27% or worse from the field. For the most efficient team in the league that makes 50% of their shots, they couldn't make any of those this game, and they missed a lot of crucial threes which they're known for making. Somehow, it was even worse on defense. The Lakers made a total of 2 threes this game and ended up with 123 points. I'm sure the Pacers are looking back at the stats and realizing that's unacceptable because they allow way too many points in the paint. It was looking like an early 2000s game with how the Lakers defended and scored this well without making many threes. The Pacers surprisingly kept the game close up until about 6 minutes left in the fourth, when the Lakers would go on a run and put the game out of reach. LeBron, of course, was the in-season tournament MVP, and while some people were confused why AD didn't win it, it was because of Bron's performance throughout the tournament, not just the final game. One thing that's common for a rising star is also the rise of doubters, because it looked like there were many people that weren't Lakers fans hoping that Tyrese Haliburton would play bad, and it's not something I can personally understand. But one thing that was talked about after the game was Tyrese not letting out the clip, and by that I mean his lack of shooting in an elimination game. Hey, all I know is that Trae Young would've. Okay, I'm joking. I'm honestly split on this because I don't think that him taking 8 shots by the fourth was him trying to be efficient or anything, and it was more of just a testament to the amount of pressure the Lakers had on him. I mean, he was getting double teamed the moment he crossed half court. I do agree that it would be nice to see him self-create a bit more, because him getting these screens is what often drew these doubles, but I'm not worried for him at all. For this to be his first time in a, playoff atmosphere, I think he did fine. Depending on how the Pacers look later on, if they're looking to make some noise in the playoffs, they definitely need to find some way of improving their defense, whether it's just scheming or a future trade. Overall, the in-season tournament was a success outside of the courts. It was good competitive basketball to keep a lot of fans watching and being more engaged at the beginning of the season, because a lot of people usually care less about the games from October to, January, and then it ramps up as we get to the All-Star break. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts on the tournament